Good morning. My name is Lauren Lele, and I'm the Director of Community Benefits and the Community Collaborative at Newton-Wellesley Hospital. Thank you for joining us at this early hour, and welcome to our program titled Rise and Shine, Stretch and Balance. This is going to be a great way to get your body and mind ready for the rest of the day. Today's program is part of our ongoing senior webinar series and is being co-hosted by the Newton-Wellesley Hospital Elder Care Council and the West Suburban YMCA. Elder Care is one of the 8 councils within the collaborative that hold educational sessions open to the whole community. Before the program officially starts, I would like to mention a few logistics for the next hour. We will be leaving plenty of time for questions and answers, and would ask that you use the Q&A feature at the bottom of the screen to type your questions in. I will monitor these questions and be asking them of our panelists at the end of the speaking portion of the program. And now let me tell you about Karen and Jane, our panelists. Karen Halpern has been a certified Pilates instructor for 20 years. She combines her fitness experience with her passion for Pilates to create client programs that motivate, empower, and produce long-term results. Karen teaches online Pilates mat classes for Newton-Wellesley Hospital and is a member of the Newton-Wellesley Hospital Elder Care Services Council. A fun fact about Karen is that she grew up as a Y brat at the Latoff YMCA in Des Plaines, Illinois, where her mother taught dance. She is very happy to be partnering with the West Suburban YMCA in today's seminar. Jane Carroll is the Senior Director of Member Engagement and Wellness at the West Suburban YMCA in Newton. She is responsible for the oversight and management of membership in the Welcome Center and Health and Wellness departments. During her tenure at the Y, Jane has transformed the Health and Wellness department. She's implemented several impactful community programs such as Live Strong and Y Empower for young girls. Jane has a Bachelor of Science degree in dietetics and a Master of Science degree in exercise science and physical education from the University of Rhode Island. She is a firm believer that being healthy and fit is a lifestyle that consists of a balanced combination of good nutrition and regular exercise. She loves to personal train and teach group exercise classes while building meaningful relationships with our members and community. Jane will be joining as a panelist after the first part of the program. And now let us begin, and I will turn it over to Karen.
Good morning, my name is Karen. I'm here with the Newton-Wellesley Hospital Wellness Center. Welcome to my Rise and Shine Stretch and Balance class. We are going to do a Pilates-based mat class for the older adult looking to stretch, build core strength, improve balance and posture. My goal is to help people be strong, healthy, and active for the rest of their lives. This class is all about that. Of course, always check with your doctor before starting a new exercise routine. I want you to stop if you feel dizzy or pain. Grab water if you need it. I'm really happy you're here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. All right, we're going to get started. You will need to take your shoes off first. You will need a chair that is sturdy. A sturdy chair is one that won't slip when you step in and out of it. A couch or a cushy chair will not work. You need a hard back, high back chair. You will also need a stretchy band if you have one. It's not necessary, but it's definitely helpful to have this. I recommend having a stretchy band for the class. There are some things you can do without it, but there are some things you will definitely need it for. I'm using a green medium tension TheraBand. Just have it to the side. We're going to start standing. So standing nice and tall. Just set the video here. All right, standing nice and tall, we're going to take a few deep breaths. Inhale up and exhale, lower down. And again, inhale up, Relaxing those shoulders. And again, inhale up. And exhale, lower down. This time, when you lift up, go ahead and grab your left wrist, lengthen through the crown of the head, and just to take a tiny side bend, lifting up out of the, grounding your left foot, relaxing the neck and shoulders, lower those arms down. And again, inhale up, taking a hold of that right wrist if you can, soften the knees, side bend over and release. And again, inhale up. And exhale over. Nice and easy, bend those knees. Again, inhale up, exhale over, and release. Standing really tall, taking those arms out to your side, rotate the palms up. We're going to take a spiraling side bend. You're going to turn, take your hips with you, and exhale, center. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. And center, inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And center, one more, inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist, and center, bringing those arms down. I'm going to walk my feet together, place your hands on your thighs, and slide those knees, bend those knees a little bit, and stand up tall. And again, bend those knees, and then holding here, if it feels good for you, you're going to take a small rounding of the spine. So draw your chin to your throat, round the lower back, and exhale, extend away. Right, two more. Inhale, round the back, allow the pubic bone to come to the nose, and then exhale, extend away, reach the sit bones away. And again, inhale, round, and exhale. Can you extend? Stay there, press through the feet, and stand up really tall. Now we're going to warm up the digits. Show me your jazz hands, spread those fingers really wide, the thumbs, the middle finger, the pinky finger. And you're going to tap the index finger, the index finger to the thumb and release. Middle finger and release. Ring finger and release. Pinky finger and open. Let's reverse. Pinky and open. Ring and open. Middle and open. Index and open. And again. And tap and stretch. Tap and stretch, tap and stretch. One more time and open. This is good for arthritis, good for carpal tunnel, and tap and open. Great, shake it out. All right, if you have some lotion, you're welcome to use some lotion. We're going to give our foot a little massage. We're going to grab our chair. So why I mentioned the lotion is in massaging your foot, it just goes a little bit easier. All right, so cross one ankle over the thigh, take your thumbs on the inside of the foot and the fingers on the outside, and dig your thumbs from the heel to the ball of the foot. You want to roll up and dig down, releasing any tension in the foot. This should feel pretty good. There should be no pain, no discomfort. I want you to sit back on your sit bones and relax your shoulders and have a good time here. Yeah, so just massage up and down and up and down and up and down. Great. You can find a spot that needs a little bit more release. We're releasing the fascia and rubbing up and down between the metatarsal bones. And then you're going to slide your fingers ever so easily in between the toes. This can be difficult at first, so you want to make sure you get at least the first finger and the second finger between the toes. Holding onto the ankle, you're going to circle in one direction and breathe. And then circle another direction. Great. And then toes go up, flex the toes up, and point. It's a flex and point, warming up that ankle, getting our feet ready to move, and a point, flex and a point. Easily, or take those fingers out and over to the second side. So cross that second ankle over, make sure it feels good for you. Taking those thumbs, you're going to dig up and lower down. So dig it up and down and up. Great. You might notice one foot feels a little smoother or feels less tight as the other. We really want to release all the tension in that foot. All right, slide those fingers between the toes, trying to get at least the first and second finger. You want to be web to web. after some time, you'll see this works out really well. This is great to have space between your metatarsal bones, and it increases circulation of the foot. So let's circle that ankle. Great. And then reverse. Great. And then flex the foot up and point. Toes and ankle go up to the shin, and toes point away. And you flex and point and flex and point and release. Great job. Now we're ready to shake those feet up. So I want you to sit tall and just notice if your feet look have a little more color, look a little more healthy. At least mine do. They feel a little tingly. I hope yours do too. All right, sitting up tall, we're going to lift all 10 toes up, trying to get the pinky toe and the big toe, all those 10 toes up, pressing through the ball of the foot. You want to press through the big toe ball, the little toe ball, and the bone point of the heel, stretching those toes up towards the shin. Take a deep breath here and lower down. We're going to take this a few more times. Lift those toes up, spread them, and lower down. It's a lift and lower and lift and lower. 2 more, lift and lower. 1 more, lift those toes up. Remember this for later, and lower down. Now imagine you're out on the beach and we're going to pick up sand with our feet. You're going to flex your ankles, pull the toes towards the shins, spread those toes, and then imagine you're grabbing that sand and picking it up, doming the foot. And again, spread those toes, grab that sand and pick it up. Great, and lengthen the toes away, grab the sand, scoot, and up, and again, reach those toes out, squeeze the sand, dome that arch, lift that arch, release, and 2 more. Grab that sand, squeeze it, and drop it. 1 more. Reach, pick up that sand, and release it. Great job. All right, shake it out. You should have felt some tightness here, maybe some muscle work in the shin, maybe all the way up the body. All right, sitting here, you're going to reach your arms forward, draw your belly in, lengthen through the crown of the head, stay tall. We're going to take a little round of the spine, little pelvic tilt, draw the belly in and up, and exhale, release. You can press those legs together. And again, without collapsing the spine, you want to round your lower back and exhale, uncurl. 2 more. Inhale, tip the pubic bone towards the rib cage, and exhale, uncurl, sitting up tall on your sit bones. 1 more. Reach those arms forward, relax the neck and shoulders as you round and release. Great. Now that was a little pelvic tilting. Now we're going to do a hinge. Lengthen through the crown of the head, keeping your spine tall. Reach up through the crown of the head, trying to press the head into the sky. You're going to take your low back with you, keep that straight spine. You're going to hinge back and lift up. Hinge back and up tall. Inhale, hinge back. Exhale, up tall. 1 more, hinge back and then sit tall. Great job. Another exercise that's good for activating your abdominals is a marching. You can stay tall, lifting those arms up again. We're going to march 1 leg up and lower down. Try to fire from the low belly. Draw that low belly in and up, pulling the navel to the spine. Press through the opposite foot as you lift 1 leg up. So it's a little marching here. And if it's a little difficult to sit up nice and tall, I don't want you to be rounding the spine. You can lean back into the chair, pressing your shoulders into the chair and tilting the back in that little bit of the hinge. You're going to march 1 leg up, trying to use that low belly, lift and lower. It's a lift and lower, alternating legs. Hold those hips really still, belly in, and 1 more. And release. Great job. Now we're ready to get out of the chair. So I just want to make sure that you're getting out of your chair with a hip hinge, with good alignment and great posture. So bringing your feet maybe hip distance apart, sit up on the sit bones on the edge of the chair. We're going to practice the hip hinge. So get really tall, and you're going to hinge forward and hinge back tall. Hinge forward and straight up tall. You can add those arms. So you're thinking of a straight back. You're not collapsing. You're not rounding your spine. You're keeping the spine very long, lengthening the spine as you draw your nose over the toes. So in the beginning, you can look at your feet, and then ideally, I'd like you to look straight ahead. And let's take that hip hinge and back. One more hip hinge. From here, this is the way we want to get out of the chair. Let's say you're at the computer or the dinner table, draw the belly in. You're going to lift up and stand tall and extend through the hips. I'm just going to step back a little bit, and you're welcome to put a hand back just to make sure you have your chair there. We're going to tap the chair and try that again. Take your hip hinge. So the spine is straight. You're looking straight at the horizon line. The neck is long, the nose over the toes, reach forward, belly in, and stand up. So we're going to take a few of those. If you're having a little difficulty getting up, you can put one hand on the chair, one foot behind, and press yourself up to stand tall. Let's try that again. I'm going to use the opposite leg back, see if that helps me get up a little bit more without those hands. You're going to hinge forward and lift up. Great. And then if you need a challenge, I recommend you bringing your feet together, knees together, taking that straight back hip hinge, long neck, reach forward, really reach forward, draw the belly in, and you stand and lift up. And let's take 4 little bends, like little squats. You're going to sit back and stand up. And sit back, make sure that you stand up all the way, nice and tall, rib cage over pelvis. 2 more, sit back, you tap the chair and lift up. And 1 more, sit back and stand up. Great job. We're ready to move on to our balance sequence. So first, let's find our centering. We're going to standing balance. We're going to bring our feet together if that's possible for you, and imagine having a magnet between your ankles, your inner shins, your inner thighs. And then you imagine you have bolts right here at the greater trochanter, and this is nice and tight. You're drawing, narrowing the hips here, and then you also have bolts between the pubic bone and the tailbone. So the hips are level, front to back is level. You're in your neutral pelvis. You are not tucked under, and you're not arching back. You're in a nice tall spine, drawing your rib cage over your pelvis, widening the collarbone, draw the throat back, and lengthen the crown of the head to the ceiling. Good, now we're ready to do our heel raises. Lift up, really bolt those inner thighs together, draw those inner thighs together. You can have your arms or your hands on your hips, or if this is your first class, you're welcome to put a hand on the wall as well as the chair. And it's a lift and lower. So we warmed up those feet. You should be spreading those toes, pressing through the big toe ball, little toe ball, that foot tripod, and drawing your inner thighs together. It's a lift and lower. Shoulders should be relaxed. And again, you want to lock your gaze on a spot in front of you, a vertical line that will help with your balance. It's a lift and lower and lift and lower. 1 more, lift and lower. Nice job. Now to increase the challenge, we're going to roll up to the ball of your left foot and lift the knee up and hold here. I want to make sure you don't poke that hip out. You want to center your weight over the foot, hug the midline. Remember that magnetized energy between the inner shin or the ankle, the inner thigh. You want to lift the waistline up and hold here. You're free. You're welcome to hold here. You can also place your foot on the floor in the high half too, or if you had a little stool, you could place your foot on the stool. We're going to take 10 single heel raises in good alignment. Make sure your weight is forward in the ball of the foot as well as the heel. You're not leaning back, and your shoulders are over your hips. You're going to lift the heel up and lower down. Press those toes down to lift up. It's a lift. And 7. We're counting down. 6. Hug the midline. 5, belly in, shoulders relaxed, and 4 more. It's a lift and lower, and 3 and lower, and 2 and 1. Nice job. Let's switch to the other side. So anyone between over the age of 65 to the age of 85 years old should be able to do 25 of these, both double leg and single leg heel raises. If you're over 80, you have a little break, you can do about 20 of them. So let's try the second side. This is my weaker side. So I really want to make sure I'm lengthening through the crown of the head and I'm forward on the ball of the foot. You want to strengthen the ankles for your balance, strengthen those feet, lift and lower, lift. Let's relax your shoulders, lift. And if you're getting really good at this, maybe you leave one finger on the chair or you take both hands off. I'm going to hold on for now. Lift for 4 and lower, 3 and lower, and 2 and lower, and 1 and lower down. Let's shake it out. My calves are burning. All right, now we're going to take one more. This is with proper ankle tracking. Hug the midline, lift your left knee up. We're going to start with the single leg heel raise, and then you're going to take a little knee bend. So it's a lift and small knee bend, hugging the midline, lift and small knee bend, and lift and small knee bend, and hold, only 5 of those. So that knee bend is just a little, if you were a dancer, it's called a parallel plie, demi plie. It's just a slide, a wall slide, bend the knees and straighten. So let me show you on the side with the second leg. We lift up one knee, make sure your hips are square, your shoulders are square, your Pilates box is square. Lift that knee up and we take a little knee bend, you straighten and you lift and lower. I'm just going to step back a little bit. Little demi plie, little releve, and it's a knee bend and straighten, lift and lower. It's a bend, straighten, hugging the midline, connecting into the back side of your body, lift, one more, bend, straighten, lift and lower. Let's run it out. Great job. You should feel like you worked those legs really well. All right, grab your TheraBand. Next up is our Costal Breathing. Very often we're breathing shallow, breathing into the upper lungs. Ideally, you'd like to get diaphragmatic breathing or lateral breathing into your rib cage. So if you place your yoga strap or your TheraBand or a dog leash, if you have one, and don't have a stretchy band, you can place that right around your rib cage. You want to pull it in nice and tight at the bottom of your rib cage. And have your hands together, elbows out to the side, stand tall, or you're welcome to sit. Take an inhale, you're going to breathe into your rib cage, drawing the belly in, expanding those ribs, and exhale. Blow all the air out. When you inhale, see the strap opens up. Breathe into the outside, the front and the back of the ribs. Shoulders don't rise. And you exhale. And again, inhale, expand those ribs, and exhale. This is all good breathing, also good for the heart and good for COVID recovery. Inhale through the nose, expand those ribs, and exhale. Great job. Ideally, you'd like a 2-inch expansion and a 2-inch contraction. Good luck with that practice. All right, moving on to our shoulder setting. So this is very important to get the shoulder to set into the shoulder blade, or the arm to set into the shoulder. So instead of forward, you want to roll your shoulder back and down. So we're going to do some external rotation here. I'm going to come to the front of the chair. Grab your stretchy band, roll the shoulders back, hug those elbows in. If any of you have been to physical therapy for rotator cuff, this is probably an exercise you're familiar with. So just hugging those elbows in, try to keep those wrists straight. My elbows are at a 90-degree angle. You're going to pull apart and release. Sit tall, pull apart and release. Pull apart and release. Notice I'm sitting with my feet together. This is hard work to sit with the legs together. This is also working on postural endurance, as well as working the small intrinsic muscles of your shoulder girdle. Great. Now we're going to go out a step. So take it out an inch. Keep those wrists straight. Elbows are slightly relaxed at your sides, and you pull out again. And you're working on the muscles in your middle back. You think about squeezing underneath the shoulder blades and widening the collarbone. And sit really tall. I don't want the roundness. I want the chest open, and balance the rib cage over your pelvis. Pull apart and release. And it's a little pull, not a big pull. Great. You don't want to twang the band. pull apart, and release. And then step it out one more time. This is my end range of motion. You may feel like you're not moving very far, but keep practicing. We'll take it another 3 more times. Pull apart and release. Try to keep those wrists straight. I like to reach through the thumbs and pull apart and release. One more, pull apart and release. The other thing is when your feet are together, it's really hard to slump. All right, roll those shoulders back. Bring your hands right in line with your chest. Reach through those thumbs. Make sure your elbows are not bent, but they're not locked. So soften your elbows, roll your shoulders back and down, and sit really tall, reaching through those thumbs. We're going to gently pull the band taut and release. And reach through those thumbs, pull taut and release. You might feel a little activation of a muscle underneath your armpit, and that's a good thing because your armpit muscles and the muscles of the middle back are all a friend of a healthy neck. And pull apart and release. All right, now plug the humerus bone, that's the upper arm bone, into your shoulder socket, and we're going to take a little protraction and retraction of the shoulders. So with soft elbows, you're going to reach your shoulders forward and reach the shoulders back. It's not a row, the elbows aren't bending. So when you first do this, it feels like there's very little movement. So you're gliding along your rib cage. The shoulder blades widen. I'm going to look straight ahead. Shoulder blades retract. Shoulder blades widen. Shoulder blades draw back. So often someone might say you want to squeeze a pencil between your shoulder blades when you retract, and when you protract, you drop that pencil. Let's take it one more time. Retract the shoulder blades and then protract. Leaving that protraction, you're going to lift your arms up, shoulder height, pulling the band slightly taut, if that's available to you. If that doesn't feel good, I don't want any pain, leave your arms chest height or just below the armpit. Otherwise, reach your arms up, and we're going to shrug our shoulders and unshrug. This is one of my favorite exercises. I love to find that good posture with the shoulders away from the ears. One more. Reach through the knuckles, shrug those shoulders, and unshrug. Arms are forward, gently. I'm just going to reach out a little further, reach through the thumbs. Find those armpit muscles as you pull the band taut and release. 4 more. Pull taut and release and pull taut. It might feel like you're not really working a lot of muscles, but we're trying to find those smaller muscles that aren't always used. And 1 more. Pull apart and release. Lower those arms back down to your chest. And we're going to take a single elbow pull back and forward, row it back, alternating. 2 more each way. If you feel any pinching in your shoulder, just drop that elbow ever so slightly. Good. And 1 more, reach away and lower down. Great job. Now the next exercise, if your balance is compromised or you don't feel good about your balance, don't use any resistance. If you have a TheraLoop, you may use the TheraLoop. I'm going to tie my TheraBand around my thighs. So the band does tend to roll, so try to take the time out to make sure the band is flat. You're going to bring the band along the back of the thighs and tie it in a bow. And I tie it in a bow with the legs together, not too tight, but tight enough that you'll get some resistance, especially when we do the leg work to the back. With the bow, the TheraBand unties very easily. All right, so you pull it tight, and if you have any extra ties, you just tuck that up along your band. And today I didn't do such a good job of getting that band straight, but you want to try to get the band as straight as possible. All right, and then we're going into our good posture to stand. So sit at the edge of the chair, roll your shoulders back, reach those arms forward. You're going to take your hip hinge. You want to really draw that nose forward. You can see it right here, and stand all the way up. So before we go, you want to make sure that the resistance is not too tight. So let me just move the chair. So just try it out a little bit and see if that feels okay for you, that it's not too tight. Again, I'm using a medium strength. It's a little easier than a heavy strength TheraBand. So use a band that feels good for you. We're going to stand nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back. I'll hold on. We're going to bring one leg forward. Make sure that leg is straight and flex the foot, reaching through the heel. Find that great standing posture. You're centered over your foot, hugging the midline, drawing the belly in, the shoulders are down. And if you're holding onto the chair, you want to make sure the chair is forward. You don't want the chair behind you. You want your Pilates box square. And it's a straight leg lift and lower. You tap the floor, flexing the foot, making sure those hips are as level as you can, and standing tall on that standing leg. If you have any pain in your knee, soften the standing leg knee a little bit. Great, and it's a lift and tap and lift. So my resistance is not a lot, but it feels good to me. You'll see when we take the leg back, it'll be a little tougher. Lift and tap. Let's switch legs. Reach your second leg forward, flex the foot, roll the shoulders back, stand tall. Don't let that hip poke out. Really hug the midline, bolting those hips. I'm narrowing the hips, getting a little engagement, drawing the belly in, flex the foot. It's a lift and lower and lift and lower for 8. Try to do 10 on each leg. 6, try not to sink into your waistline. So lifting up out of your waistline. My weight is forward. I just noticed I was a little back. 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and 1 more. Making sure that leg is nice and straight. We're working on the muscle right above the kneecap. Okay, second side. So we're going to go to the side leg. Stand tall on your standing leg. Reach the leg out. You're going to scrape the floor with your heel. Reach out, tall spine. Lift your waistline up out of the hips. Lift your rib cage up out of the hips and your shoulders are relaxed. Soften your knee. Press weight forward in the ball of the foot. It's an open and a tap. Open and a tap for 2 and 1 and release. Let's go on to the second side. Stand tall. Good. And heel brushes that floor. It's a reach and open and tap. Open and tap. Stay tall. Open. Side leg, I'm in parallel. It's a parallel leg. For 4, 3, soften the knees. Make sure you're not leaning back. 2, maybe you put a finger on the chair. And 1 to work that balance. Nice job. And now for the back. This is my favorite exercise. We're going to keep our legs parallel. Take a soft bend of the knee. The heels stay down. You're going to take that little hip hinge with a straight back and reach one leg back. Flex the foot. It's a straight leg. Reach through the heel and it's a lift and lower. We're strengthening the hip. Strengthening that hip. Strengthening the back pocket muscle of the seat. And reach. Now, if you feel like you need a little more challenge, what I recommend is coming upright, just as if we were walking, and reach that leg away. This is a little bit more difficult, keeping your shoulder square, your hip square. And yes, your standing leg is working. Let's take 2 more. Push back and center, press back and center. Woo! Second side. Make sure your ankle is under your hip. You're going to take that little knee bend, tilt forward. Hands on the chair, you're looking down and forward, long neck, pull the throat back and reach the leg back. So this is my stronger leg. And it feels really good. I hope it feels good for you. Draw your belly in, try not to rock your pelvis. So keeping those hips nice and level and reach through the heel, straight leg. It's hard to keep that leg straight. So reach energy through the heel, reach energy through the crown of the head. And take 2 more. Press and release. Remember, you can do all those exercises without the resistance. Great job, especially if you're new to the class. All right, so untie your band. Nice job. Let's go ahead and sit in our chair. I'm going to turn sideways for this. Well, you're welcome to stay forward. And if you have no band, you can hold your leg, the back of the hamstring, or hold the leg like so with your hands. Otherwise, you come on a diagonal. Otherwise, again, take the time to have your stretchy band be flat on the foot, and you're going to reach the leg up. And you want to try to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to cross the band, and we're going to do some hamstring stretching, some ankle strengthening, and some arm work. So you're going to pull the band taut, and be careful here. You don't want the band too tight. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can sit back and lean into your chair, and you get a little more support here underneath the thigh. So flex that foot. And you're going to take your row, shoulders down, elbows are wide, belly in, flex the foot and point. So I have the band over the ankle and the ball of the foot and the toes, and the band does roll, but you try to get the band straight so it doesn't roll. So it's flex and point for 4 and flex and 3 and flex and 2 and flex, strong wrist, 1 and flex. Lower down, second side. So if that was challenging, you can always scoot forward. I don't want the leg on the floor. I'd like it maybe a little bit lower. You can cross and take your row from here and point and flex and point and flex. So the work is, again, we're trying to strengthen the thigh as well as doing the stretching. The elbows are pulled back. Try to think of maybe retracting your shoulders and lifting tall through the crown of the head, and 2 more flex and point, 1 more flex and point. Great. From here, we're going to do a little bit of arm work. So I'm actually going to move back, have my legs straight, and uncross the band. I'm going to choke up a little bit on the band, reach the arms forward. You can keep your elbows at your side for the bicep curl. Flex. So you want to point your foot. If you flex your foot, the band may fall off. So squeezing your elbows gently at your side, you're going to fire that bicep muscle, holding the leg still. And if you want more of a challenge, you would lift those arms up like a strong woman here, strong person. Extend away. It's a bend and extend. Again, keep the foot pointed or extend the foot. Don't flex the foot, and sit tall. And notice I'm leaning against the back of the chair. I have my pelvis against the back of the chair and the shoulders. Try not to use your wrists. So keep those wrists straight. Bend and extend, 2 more, bend and extend, 1 more, bend and extend. Nice job. On to the next exercise. So reach that arm forward, and you can cross the band. Hold that leg up. You should feel a good stretch in the back of the hamstring. We're going to take a row. Forearms face in, stack tall. You're going to twist and center and twist and center and twist and center and twist and center. So bring one arm back. You want to look over your shoulder and center. Bring the other elbow back. It's going a little fast there. Let's slow it down. Widen your collarbone. Reach one arm forward like you're pulling, and bow back, an arrow in the bow, and 2 more. Twist and center. Make sure it feels good for you. You want a long spine, long back. Sit those sit bones down into the chair and release. All right, 1 more exercise here where we're using stretching and strengthening at the same time. This one, I'm going to scoot forward and not cross the band. Roll your shoulders back. If this is too tiring, you can always cross the straight leg over the long leg. Reach your arms down. Roll the shoulders back. We're going to take a shoulder extension. You want to look straight ahead, pulling your head back into an imaginary car headrest. Reach the knuckles down, pull back and release, pull back and release. 2 more, pull back and release. 1 more, take a big inhale, hold here. Take a little turn of the neck, look, center, look, center and forward. 1 more, pull back. We switch the look away, look towards me, come center, and release. Great job. All right, we're going to sit on the chair and cross one ankle over and hold on to your shin and gently press the thigh away. Feel that your hips are square. Maybe I'll face you. Great. You're going to press that thigh and sit up nice and tall. And then if it feels good for you, you can round over, stretching the back body, the back hip. Take a deep breath. You can flex the foot, protect your knee. Breathe in here, inhale and exhale. Second side. So if that doesn't feel good for you, you can always just cross your leg. Always follow what your surgeon says. If you have a hip replacement, if you're not allowed to cross at the knees, please don't do that. Otherwise, flex your foot, gently press the thigh away and hinge forward, stretching your lower back, stretching that hip. Take a deep breath here, inhale here, and exhale, stack up tall. All right, we're going to take a shoulder stretch. So again, sit up really tall, and you're going to reach your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers, reach the knuckles down, open the chest, and try to get the heels of the hands together. If that doesn't work, just take your time, practice, and this will come. So shoulders down, reach away, and we're going to take a few breaths. So the more I draw the heels of the hands together, and the more I open the chest and lengthen through the crown of the head, making sure my shoulders are over the hips and reaching those knuckles away, the more stretch I feel in my chest. Keep reaching the knuckles away. Let's take another breath in and gently release. Great job. All right, one more exercise, one more stretch. You're going to scoot one cheek on and one cheek off, and it's not your facial cheek. Tuck the knee under the chair, hold on to your sturdy chair, and reach the leg back. Now this is pretty challenging, so you can come here. You want to try to press this thigh forward with a little pelvic tilt, lifting up your low belly. Otherwise, you want to reach that leg away. I'm just going to turn around and make sure that I'm in parallel legs. So this is a great stretch if you've been sitting for a while. So right here, take a pelvic tilt. It's called the Eaves Lunge. It's one of my favorite exercises for office sitting. So you sit up on this one sit bone, take a pelvic tilt, you reach through the big toe, reach through the back leg, big toe, try to straighten the leg. I realize this is challenging. I've been doing this quite a long time, so I have lots of stretch here. You do what you can, but you know at some point when you practice your stretches, you'll get there. Make sure your leg is parallel. This back leg is parallel. Now, if any shoulder issues, cross your heart. Otherwise, lift your arm up, pull the ribs up out of the hips, and you should feel a great groin stretch right here. Taking an inhale, you're going to take a gentle side bend over. Inhale here. Breathe into the stretch, anchoring the back heel, anchoring the back foot, drawing the belly in. Inhale and exhale, slowly unwind. Second side, turn around, reach one leg back, ground the foot, square the hips, take a pelvic tilt, reach through the heel. I'm checking that the leg is parallel, rib cage over pelvis. I feel a deep stretch right here. That's right. You want to feel that. No tension in the lower back. Pull your ribs back, cross your heart, or lift the arm up, taking an inhale. I'm holding onto the chair with the other arm. The other arm is holding the chair. Lift up and tip over, a little side bend, reaching the armpit to the ceiling. Good posture here, long neck. The head comes with, so don't tilt your head. You want the head to follow your spine. Lengthen your cervical spine. Inhale here, reach through the back big toe, and exhale and release. All right, we're just going to end with a little bit of a meditation. I'm going to come a little bit forward here. So I'd like you to sit back in your chair, make sure your pelvis is back and your rib cage is back and your legs are together if you can. Bring your hands forward, roll your shoulders back, and close your eyes. Let's just find something in our body to be grateful for. What is it that you could do today that you didn't do yesterday or didn't know that you could do? I'd like you to send a message of gratitude to a body part that might be painful or weak. Wrap that body part in golden healing light. As you breathe in golden healing light, allowing that light to travel to where it needs to go in the body. As you breathe out, exhale whatever you don't need. Imagine breathing out toxins, byproducts. As we breathe out, the carbon dioxide feeds the plants and they give off oxygen that we need. Send a message of gratitude to the earth for that recycling process. Be mindful of the awareness that you can strengthen your body, your bones, and your muscles at any age. Let's repeat in your minds, I am happy, I am well, I am strong. My friends and family are happy and well and strong. And let's imagine all beings on the planet being happy, being well, and being strong. Let's wrap ourselves in a blanket of peace, and let's wrap the earth in a blanket of peace. Returning our awareness to the room with new eyes, new perspective, and feeling a sense of joy and vitality and hope for the future. Let's finish by bowing the head, taking a deep breath here. One final stretch of the neck. Take good care. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you.
Karen, that was amazing. Thank you so much. You didn't miss any body part or any well-being in our minds as well. So thank you. I can see why your programs are so popular through the Wellness Center. Hopefully that energized and balanced people for the rest of the day. And hopefully that was helpful for you on this particular Tuesday. And so now we are going to have a question and answer portion. So we do have a number of questions that have come in. So I'm going to ask actually Karen and Jane to put their screens on at this point so that they can join us to respond to the questions. So let me just start with a couple of them. So this is kind of specific to someone's situation, but I think it's a good one. I've had both hips replaced and also bunion hammer toes and disjointed toe. Should I have done all of the exercises?
Well, I can answer that personally. The foot exercise that I did and all the massage is perfect for bunions and hammer toes. That's why I did it. Also, I have a right hip replacement myself, and all these exercises you can do with the exception of any contraindications from your surgeon. So it all depends on what kind of hip replacement you have and what you know, you may not be able to cross your legs. So I gave a modification. I suggested not crossing your legs if your surgeon told you to do that. But yes, this was fairly, a fairly straightforward exercise for anyone. And even I have people that have knee replacements as well doing these exercises. Okay, great.
So Jane, I don't know if, because you do a lot of the exercise classes as well. This is someone's question where they have osteoporosis and are wondering, can they do yoga or Pilates? So is that kind of a what they should pursue?
Sure, yes. I would say anybody should do yoga and Pilates. It's great for your flexibility, for strengthening your core, which is helpful in day-to-day movements and functions. With osteoporosis, I would also suggest some strength training. So using weights and doing that type of exercise in conjunction with the yoga and the Pilates.
Great. Okay. Excellent. And Jane, while we have you on, I just wanted to ask you, some folks are asking, you know, what types of exercise or other programs they are at the senior center, and then embedded in that, I thought maybe you could speak to, is the new location and maybe reveal what that is, but is that going to be a location with senior programming as well?
Sure. Yes. So for current exercise classes and programs that we have at this location, which is on Church Street at the Church Street location, they're all going to be West Suburban YMCA. We have several group exercise classes specific to seniors. We have a class called Keeping Fit that meets Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 10 o'clock. And that kind of combines some low impact aerobics, some strength training, and some stretching and flexibility. We also have chair yoga, Pilates, a stability ball class that's helpful with balance. We have swimnastics, which is our water aerobics class. So that meets Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We offer pickleball, Zumba. So we kind of have a wide variety of programming for everybody, hopefully everybody's needs. And then we also are going to start picking back up. Before the pandemic, we had something called the Social Wisers, where we took the group on field trips and we had different lecture series for them. So we're hoping, if all goes well with the pandemic, that that will start up again soon. And then our new location, we're excited to announce we're expanding our facility, and we are going to be located on the other side of Newton to help serve that population. So it's 135 Wells Avenue. It's where the former Boston Sports Club used to be, if anybody's familiar with that side of Newton. And we're having another full facility over there. So we'll have a lot of senior programming, group exercise classes, a full fitness center, pickleball, a pool. So we'll try to duplicate and add more programming over there as we get closer to that opening, which is slated for in different phases, late June, and a grand opening hopefully in September. So we're really excited about that. And I do want to say, if anybody wants to come try out the Y, if you email me, I can put my email in the chat. I can give you guest passes to check out this location and then the other location when we open.
Okay, excellent. That's really helpful. And I know that we have a number of chat and questions coming in about resources and contacts for both Karen and Jane, et cetera. So what we're actually going to do later today or tomorrow, attendees will be getting an email from the collaborative, and that will be a recap of this program, and specifically will include resources, and we can include contact information and some of the specifics that Jane and Karen are sharing with us. So you will get, attendees will get all of this comprehensively in an email. So no worries about not having that information. That's great, Jane. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And it's very exciting about the new location. It definitely shows the need and the health and wellness that folks want to get involved with for the community. Karen, I'm wondering, we did have a question, and again, this might go back to kind of just checking with your clinician or whichever, but someone who's seeing a physical therapist, when can they start group exercises? So I don't know if that's kind of a generic question, so I don't know if you can get into those specifics, but to be able to speak to that, I'm not sure if you might be able to.
Well, of course, you should always speak to your therapist and ask them if they give you permission to join in an exercise program. Often they will not want you to exercise until they give you approval. So they don't want you. So often you can, just check with your physical therapist and make sure they know that, what kind of exercise you are doing. A lot of people are given clearance 4 to 6 weeks after beginning physical therapy. So I oftentimes have people, Pilates is pretty gentle, although it can be tough on the shoulders, if you're lifting your arms overhead. So just check with that clinician.
All right, excellent, excellent. And so, and then Karen, since we spoke to the Y programs, for your programs, are they all Pilates based? It would be similar to what you demonstrated for us this morning and had folks participate in?
In some regards, this was all standing and sitting in a chair. Part of my class involves mat work, which is about 25 to 30 minutes on the mat, on the floor. And that follows Joseph Pilates mat exercises. Yes, in general, this was a shortened version of something that I may often offer my class, and I focus on posture, balance, and stretching and strength training, core strength. The Newton-Wellesley Hospital does offer other programs as well. I believe there's Tai Chi and yoga online. All of these classes are virtual, and some strength training. My class in particular meets Monday and Wednesday, 10:45 a.m. and it's online. So you can email me at karenhalpern1@verizon.net if you're interested in joining my class.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that detail as well. And so that seems to be all the questions, besides just folks really wanting to make sure they have the list of all these options for exercise classes and details about any of the programs that both of you have described, and those options for doing balance and stretching. And we all know that that should just help in terms of just stability and health and wellness for everyone. So is there any final comments that either Jane or Karen that you would like to make? I'll leave the floor to you.
Sure, I'm very happy to be part of this. I hope we can do future collaborations together. I know that we've worked together in the past, and I hope to be able to do this in the future. It was great meeting everybody and having the opportunity to be on this, so thank you.
Same here. Thank you very much for joining me and participating in my class. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be with you at all. So have a beautiful day, and I hope to see you soon on the mat.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you both so much. And thank you all for who attended. We had a great turnout, and we hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you. Take care.